The genetic history of Ashkenazi Jews is a remarkable journey through time, a story of migrations, intermingling, and resilience. Modern DNA studies reveal a layered ancestry, with roots in the ancient Near East and branches extending across Europe. Let's explore the major components that shape Ashkenazi Jewish genetics today. At the heart of Ashkenazi Jewish ancestry lies the Levant, the region encompassing modern-day Israel and surrounding lands. Genetic evidence shows that roughly 40 to 50% of Ashkenazi DNA comes from ancient Judeans and Israelites. This Middle Eastern component links Ashkenazim to other Jewish and Semitic populations, reinforcing the historical narrative of a people originating in the land of Israel. This Levantine ancestry has remained a consistent thread across Jewish populations, despite centuries of diaspora and displacement. Around the time of the Roman Empire, roughly 70 to 300 CE, many Jews migrated westward, especially to Italy and nearby Mediterranean regions. During this time, significant admixture occurred with local Southern European populations. This component makes up approximately 30 to 40% of Ashkenazi ancestry. This blending likely happened when Jewish communities formed in Roman cities after the destruction of the Second Temple in 70 CE. Far from being isolated, these early Jewish settlers engaged with their surroundings, including through intermarriage and conversion. Fast forward to the medieval period, roughly 800 to 1200 CE, when Jewish communities began moving into Central and Eastern Europe, particularly the Rhineland, Poland, and Lithuania. There, a smaller but notable genetic input came from Slavic and other Eastern European populations. This accounts for about 10 to 20% of modern Ashkenazi ancestry and reflects both intermarriage and conversions over several centuries. Despite this, Ashkenazi Jews remained relatively endogamous, preserving much of their earlier genetic makeup. Beyond these three major sources, researchers have identified small amounts, typically under 10% combined, of Western European, Central Asian, and possibly Khazar-like ancestry. These contributions are debated and likely minor. Interestingly, mitochondrial DNA, passed through maternal lines, shows signs of European founder lineages. Some haplogroups like K101b1a suggest that a number of European women joined Jewish communities, possibly through conversion, in ancient or early medieval times. Let's recap the major time periods. Before 70 CE, core Levantine ancestry forms in ancient Israel. 70 to 300 CE. Jews settle in southern Europe and mix with Mediterranean populations. 800 to 1200 CE. Migration into Central and Eastern Europe, with minor admixture from locals. 1300 to 1600 CE. A dramatic population bottleneck occurs, followed by rapid expansion. Due to the founder effect, a small number of ancestors gave rise to a large population. This led to high genetic homogeneity and shared DNA segments across Ashkenazim, a phenomenon called identical by descent. This history also explains why Ashkenazi Jews have higher carrier rates for certain genetic conditions, including Tay-Sachs disease, BRCA mutations, and Gaucher's disease. These aren't Jewish diseases per se. They reflect the quirks of a population that experienced genetic drift. So what does it all mean? In simple terms, Ashkenazi Jews are a blend of Middle Eastern and European ancestries, with a deep connection to ancient Israel and significant Mediterranean and Eastern European influence layered on over time. About 45% of their DNA ties back to ancient Judeans. About 35% reflects Southern European roots, especially in Italy. Around 15% comes from Eastern Europe, and the remaining 5% or less comes from scattered sources like Western Europe or Central Asia. Ashkenazi Jews are genetically closer to other Jewish populations, such as Sephardi and Mizrahi Jews, than to their non-Jewish European neighbors. This is especially true when you look at shared Middle Eastern ancestry. Despite centuries in Europe, Ashkenazi Jews maintained a strong sense of community and a relatively isolated gene pool, which helped preserve their distinct identity, both culturally and genetically. The story of Ashkenazi DNA is not just one of science. It's a reflection of history, resilience, and adaptation. From the hills of ancient Judea to the towns of medieval Europe, each genetic layer tells a story of a people constantly on the move, yet always holding on to their roots. Understanding these genetic threads helps illuminate not just where Ashkenazi Jews came from, but how they've remained connected across time and continents.